kept the heavy fur rug clutched around my shoulders and dragged the chair to the oven and sat there shivering while I ate another helping of the porridge. My bones sore so that I could take the oven and rub one against the other at every joint. A little pain every time I moved. But worst of all was to be there alone.
Hey you guys, so it is Wednesday, November 27th, and I am going to go ahead and intro this reading vlog. I'm not exactly sure how long I want it to be, but I do have a long weekend because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, I'm off Friday, then we have Saturday, Sunday, so I just think it'll be a nice time to hopefully get a huge chunk of my 24 books for 2024 off my TBR. That's the goal. But before I go ahead and talk about my reads for this weekend, I really want to show you guys an antique thrift haul. I picked everything up this weekend. Two of the things are from an Etsy order, but I received them this weekend and they were from a local shop. So she curates everything. She sells a lot of it on Etsy. She goes to all the local markets. But because of that, her stuff is usually like a lot cheaper than those super curated like storefront kind of like antique vintage shops. So that's nice because I feel like everything I got was either on sale or pretty cheap. The rest of the stuff is actually coming from Marietta and Athens, Ohio. So we were there last weekend and I love to pop into vintage, antique, like thrifty type stores on the way there and then on the way home because things are usually a lot cheaper there because it's out of the city. It's not super close to like any big city, and so they aren't hiking up these prices just because it's like a curated shop. So that is my tip if you're looking for really cool clothing items or just like vintage antique type things for like your home or whatever, is to drive out of this city and make a fun little like day out of it, a weekend out of it, because you can find like stuff for way cheaper if you just like get out of town a little. So that's what we did. That's not why we were there, but it just so happened that we were going there, and so that's what I did while I was there and then on the way home. Let me go ahead and let my dog back in the house and then I'll show you guys what I picked up this weekend. So the dog is now in the house. So I am going to go ahead and start with the things I got off of the really cool Etsy shop. This first thing I haven't even put together because the woman running the shop sent me a YouTube video of how to assemble everything, and because it's a Christmas, like New Year's decoration, I wanted to wait until after I cleaned up a little so I can like build it and then put it exactly where it's gonna go and basically like not touch it all season. I'm just like afraid it's gonna be like kind of fragile and I don't want to like mess anything up by like building and then moving it 1,000 times. So it is a small little candle stand, and so this will sit just like that. And then they have these little angels with little horns that'll be on these, and then as the candles are lit, it'll spin this and ring these bells. So like how cute, how cool. And then I got a pack. I'm gonna call it a pack because she was selling it in 4s. You had to buy all 4. But they are these hammered metal vintage bird ornaments, and I think these will look really cool on my Christmas tree. Are you trying to check it out? Yeah. You're trying to check everything out. Come on, we have kisses? Trap kisses. Good boy. So we're gonna try and do this with a dog sitting on me now. He's very needy these days. He loves a pet. He loves a cuddle, which is so funny because I feel like when he was a puppy, he was not like that at all. But yeah, lately he's a little bit more into the, just all the attention. But anyway, Ethan actually found this while we were in Athens, and I thought it was like so cute. I feel like at first he was kind of like giggling about it, and I was like, honestly though, once we get all of our bookshelves up and our mantle and everything's painted, I actually think this will really connect both of our like home styles. And then I got this vase for literally only $3, which I was super shocked by. I've been on the hunt for more pottery, ceramic type vases. I'm not as into like all the glassware that I see around, but I feel like with the pottery, a lot of it is actually like pretty expensive, which I feel like if it's something really unique or really cool, I'm definitely willing to like spend a little on something that's, you know, a little more special, I guess. And for $3, like I couldn't not get it. So yeah, I think this will be so cute with flowers in it this spring. Another cheap find, another Christmas ornament. It was only $2, and it's this little antique angel ornament. I don't know if you guys can really see that well, but yeah, isn't she so cute? And this one actually isn't that heavy, so I think it'll look so cute on our tree. And then I also got this cool painting. I love the frame. It's an old farmhouse. There are some cows, a barn, everything on it. I think this will look really cute in our house once everything's painted as well. And then I got this really cool coat. It's very loud, which I think is hilarious. Like, you can like hear it, but it's a Field and Stream coat. Like, even the inside is like so cute. But it's a vintage jacket that I got for $12. And I feel like these are really in right now. So I have one like this that's brown leather. That was actually my dad's in like high school and college, and I wear it all the time. But I can't lie to you, I've noticed that I feel like everybody is wearing those right now, which is like fine. But I went out last weekend and like we literally all had a brown leather bomber jacket on, and so I was like, okay, we need to spice it up a little bit. And for $12, I don't know, it's like suede, and honestly sometimes I think this one might actually fit me a little better, because as you can see, it like cinches at your arms and at your waist, and so it just like is a bit more, it's still like boxy, but I like that they have like cutoffs on your body. Sometimes the leather bomber I have is almost like so oversized that depending on my outfits, I feel good in it or not so good in it. So I think this will just be another good option to have, and it's warm, and like I said, $12. I don't know. And then I have one more thing to show you. We're gonna have to get up to see it, but basically it's this old vintage sled that I think I'm going to put on my front porch and put like maybe a bow or something on it. I think it'll be so cute. So this is actually why I was going to these antique stores in the first place, was I really wanted one, and they had a few to pick from, and this is one of the like mid price range options. Some of the cheaper ones were just not as like, I don't know, they just like weren't as cute, and like it wasn't really what I was like going for. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you that now. How cute. It's a flexible flyer. I think it is so cute. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick reading update because I need to get back to work, but I also want to tell you what I'm up to. So the main book that I would love to finish this weekend is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, okay? This is for a book club that meets on Tuesday. It is now Wednesday, so I have less than a week to finish, but I am 56% through. What has actually helped me read a little faster than I was, because I can't lie, this is not my most favorite book I've ever read. It's a fantasy book. I talked about it a little in my last reading vlog, but I got the audiobook off of Libby and the ebook, and so then I'm reading and listening to the audiobook at the same time, and I feel like it's helping me keep all my characters separate and understand their stories separately, because the narrator of the audiobook kind of like changes her voice a little depending on which character she's reading from, like, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, I feel like that has helped me read a lot faster, which I feel like I usually don't care how fast I'm reading a book, but the fact that I missed the last 2 book clubs, and part of it was because I didn't finish the book, and I'm like a freak. Like, I don't want to go sit and kind of talk about a book or kind of know what's going on. So yeah, I'm just in a bit of a time crunch. I think we'll do it. I really do. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Story of Jane, the Legendary Underground Feminist Abortion Service by Laura Kaplan. Again, I also talked about this in my last reading vlog. Not in a rush to finish this one because it is a historical nonfiction, so I really don't want to just like skim what's going on. The sections are pretty short though, which I do think helps in a nonfiction, but I am really liking it. And then I also started Broken Harbor. Okay, stinky boy. Sorry, my dog has come over here. He thinks I'm talking to him. But I also started Broken Harbor by Tana French not too long ago. It's the 4th book in the Dublin Murder Squad series. Loving it. This one is so messed up because basically a whole family besides the mom gets murdered in their own home, but there's all this weird shit in the house, like all these crazy holes in the wall, and besides the holes in the wall, it's a very pristine, very clean environment, and so they're very confused about like what these holes are for. The mom is in some sort of a like coma situation, at least at this point in time. I assume she'll wake up eventually and have to spill the beans. And then what's the weird thing is that they're finding all these baby monitors in the house, and they think that they found like a trap in the attic, and they're not exactly sure like who or what they're trying to trap with this thing. So it's just like extra freaky. Like Tana French just really knows how to tell like a procedural investigation detective type story, like so good. Like she keeps me so invested in the stories, because it's not like, oh, so and so went missing and what are we gonna do. It's like very involved, and she writes so well. So yes, that is what I'm in the middle of reading, and I'll update you guys later on tonight. Good morning. Oh, stretches. Oh, I love you, Binks. I love you so much. I do. I love you so much. Hey you guys, so it is now the day after Thanksgiving. We had to be at my grandparents around like 1, a little before 1, and then we didn't get home until like 8 or like after 8, and so I just feel like it's a long day of socializing. It was a lot of fun though, very relaxing, a lot of good food, a lot of family time, out of town family time, so that all felt really good. But I wanted to go ahead and pop in and give you guys a bit of an update. So this morning me and my mom went to Lowe's and Home Depot because she wanted some wreaths and stuff, and I got poinsettia for our house, and I got these 2 little like tree type things to put on my porch that'll probably be out there until like February, March-ish. But they're pretty cute, and everything was on sale, and we didn't really even have to go out into the crowds, which was like truly just so nice. Like when she first was like, I want to go get a wreath, I was like, I don't know if I'll be going with you, but I'm really happy I did. We had a lot of fun. We chatted a ton, and then when I got home, I feel like we just kind of like hung out. We went to my grandparents and just chatted. Oh my gosh, couch update. So I talked to my grandma and my dad. So they've both upholstered furniture, ottomans, chairs, whatever before, and so I was asking them some questions about this couch situation. So I don't know how, like, where I left you guys on this, but basically I reached out to now multiple couch upholstery places, and I'm getting very different information on how much fabric I need to buy and how much labor is in general. Which clearly, if you're going to different places, it is going to cost a different amount. So the first people I reached out to, which I think they are still going to be the ones I go to, he split it up based off of the base of the couch and the cushions. This other lady was like a whole couch or nothing. Then this other company, which I have not even talked to anyone on the phone, like I'm not talking to them at all, labor alone, no fabric, no nothing, $2,000. I got this couch for like $100 off Facebook, so like no ma'am, I will not be spending $2,000 to get a fabric put on, plus more because of the price of all the fabric. My grandma was like, yeah, no, like if you are providing the fabric, that cost that they're like giving you should go way down. And I was like, that's kind of like what I thought. And we were talking to her, and I didn't even ask her to like help or anything, but I'm asking her all these questions about like the fabric, because how can somebody tell me I need 9 yards for the whole couch and then somebody else is telling me 14 yards? Like, it's a little confusing. And she actually offered in that conversation to sew all of the covers for my cushions. So I have 6 cushions, so then I would only have to pay for the fabric and then to get the base done, so that would save me pretty much like $500. So God bless my grandma. So tomorrow my fabric is actually on sale for like 20 or 25% off, and it's going to save me over $100 on the fabric cost overall. I feel like we're making progress without spending like a bajillion dollars. But yeah, I went to my grandparents today and we hung out for a really long time. I got to hang out with my cousin's kid. He's super cute. And then we came home and I watched some YouTube and sat around for a little, and it is now 2:51 and I'm actually getting ready to pick up Broken Harbor by Tana French. I have not read any of this today and it's getting pretty good. So there was this nest which the police think is where somebody was going pretty regularly to spy on this family's home, which is like, it's just getting creepier and creepier and like so crazy. So I'm really excited to dive into this. I feel like Tana French is so winter read for me, and so I'm really excited to kind of end the year on this a little bit. This morning I read more in Spinning Silver, feeling the same about it. I think if I had to rate it like today though, I think it would get like, I don't know, a 2.5, 2.75 star. It's just like doing a whole lot of nothing for me. Like, it's giving winter vibes and that's it. But other than that, like, I do not care. I really don't care. I don't even think I fully understand like what is going on. I cannot lie to you. So I think book club on Tuesday is going to be a little bit of a joke, but I think it'll still be fun. But yeah, I'm not as into it, I guess. But I don't think that's fresh news, new news. And then in the legendary underground feminist abortion service book, I'm now over 40% through, which makes me feel really, really good. She does a really good job telling the history of what happened in a really like, almost like a story type way, and in a way that like chronologically like makes a lot of sense, and it's all making a lot of sense, which I think is like, I feel like it's making it a lot easier to digest and like read through. So yeah, I'm gonna read some more in Broken Harbor, and then I might pick up more in Spinning Silver. I'm not exactly sure if we're going out tonight. We talked about it, but I think we're in between going out tonight and tomorrow, and I think me and my mom are leaning a bit more towards tomorrow night, just because I think all the socialization and everything, I think we're a bit like, not over it, but I think we're ready to like sit and be a little cozier. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll update you guys later on.
I watch a lot of TBR videos, and typically they do TBRs for the month. They have very creative ways that they come up with their TBR. My TBR in this video is really just a little culture stuff.
Feel free to skip ahead. Totally get it. We have a couple things to talk about. The water. Most die on impact. You know. I ended up reading the acknowledgements, which took me to so many different people and read so many went through, and what their families went through in the not knowing was horrendous. And everyone is impacted in war. And as I said, the quote from the one guy from the war was, "How fragile life was really for my brain and my sorry baby, can't be me." Anyway, plans for the rest of this readathon. Like I said, books actually that I could potentially get done tonight. Study, which is one of the notes that I wrote down. Like I said, I'm gonna read these notes off because I feel like I was able to collect my thoughts more as I was reading versus now. The first note I wrote is that it's a character study focusing on obsession and unraveling. Basically, we're following our main character, which I think she's unnamed, which actually makes me think more. Says and does it in action, and it all comes back to questioning her own pages in. That was my little weekend readathon. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think this.
Were you wondering about the UCA prize of I love prizes? Oh, he bought it. I guess he bought this piece, right?
Past. One circle of men and one circle of women. The bride and the groom were inside the circles, like everyone was keeping them safe. The people in the circles all went into the middle, everyone putting up their hands at the same time, and then they came back out again. Everyone was dancing except...
Hey you guys, so it is now Sunday, December 1st at around 5:30 p.m. I actually just woke up from a nap. I am so freaking exhausted. We went out last night. We stayed out later than I would have thought. I think we left the bar around 1. It was so much fun, but yeah, no, I am so tired because then I feel like we didn't really sleep in too long this morning. Tonight I would love to read more in Broken Harbor and The Legendary Underground Feminist Abortion Service by Laura Kaplan. Let's see how far into this book I actually am. So in the story of Jane, the Legendary Underground Feminist Abortion Service, I'm 51%, so that feels good to be over halfway. I feel like I've read kind of a lot in Broken Harbor this weekend. I'm now 38% through. I'm loving it. I love Tana French. This one is just really hitting the spot right now. I just feel like her stories are so easy to get lost in, and so I feel like these are always like pretty fast enough for me, I guess, for being like kind of long books, just because I feel like Tana French does a really good job keeping me invested in stories and the characters, everything like that. I am now drinking lemon ginger tea, and I put some extra lemon juice in there. It's so good. I think this is part of why I fell asleep earlier, just having like a warm cozy drink in my hand when it's so freaking cold outside. It snowed last night. I did not know it was gonna snow. I don't know if it's like setting any records or anything, but I feel like we are having a very cold like Thanksgiving weekend holiday. I know Thanksgiving this year kind of like fell weird, so it's almost like a week later than it like normally has been lately, and so our Christmas stuff actually won't be up as long, but I'm kind of okay with it. And I do think I'll leave my tree up longer this winter than maybe I would normally, probably like a couple weeks after we get into the new year. But yeah, I just feel like because it's so cold, I'm just here, I'm cozied up. I will not be leaving the house. I'm making dinner right now. I was going to either read more or watch some YouTube and then update my new fridge calendar. So let me show it to you really quick. This is like our really super official way of keeping track of like who's where, when, what's going on. I feel like we try and put like almost everything on these calendars. Like we live and die by this thing. This is our favorite way to do it. I love seeing everything on a monthly basis. I feel like it has made us better planners of like even just like hanging out with each other. We're like, oh, you're doing this here, this then, this and then, so we need to hang out here and here, or we won't really have any other time, like if that makes any sense. And so I think tonight I am going to go and put everyone's birthdays on here, any trips that we know we're going to be taking, any events that we know we have, because we already know we have at least one wedding, but I believe we are going to end up with at least 2 weddings next year. One is his sister's. We have at least 1 trip planned. We have another tentative trip for hopefully next fall, but we're still waiting to like iron all that out. But yeah, I just feel like this helps us plan our PTO even at work. So yeah, no, I'm like so excited to start fresh. I love the new year. Like I am a new year, new beginnings, fresh start. It feels like going back to school every year. I love that feeling. So yeah, I cannot wait to do this tonight. Also, update. I'll give you one house update, or wait, let me give you 2 house updates really quickly, just because I don't want my dinner to burn. But as you can see behind me, Ethan hung our scalloped mirror in the living room on Thanksgiving before we went to my grandparents' house. I absolutely love it. I'll show it to you during the day, probably so you can like actually see, but I really think it like brightens up the space and just makes it like that much more cozy. So God bless him. I love it so much. And then yesterday, my plaid fabric for my couch was actually 20% off. So I ordered all of the yards for that. I do feel really good though that we have our fabric bought. I feel like this living room has kind of just been like a long time coming. I feel like it's something I've thought about like making cozier for so long, and I'm happy that it's finally kind of starting to like come together. I just feel like I'm somebody who like once I like get going, I'm like, oh yeah, we can like make a decision, and guess what, if I buy this and whatever and don't like here, I can always like use it somewhere else in the house. But I do feel like it takes me a little bit of a longer time to like get going on a project because I have such a mental block of like, oh, but like what if I don't like it, what if I don't like it, and it's like, oh, you just redo it. you just do it differently, or you move things around, or like you just go with the flow, you know? And I feel like that was really hard for me to get on board with at the beginning of all this. So I'm really happy things are starting to finally pick up. I'm not sure if we'll have this done like before Christmas, considering it's December 1st today and I don't even have the fabric in. I think it would be nice to at least get the couch base to the couch people, and I have no clue if this is like an afternoon thing and then I pick it up, or if this is like he's gonna need it for weeks on end. I have no clue, so fingers crossed it's not too crazy of a thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go eat dinner and change the battery on my camera, and I'll talk to you guys all later on. Hey you guys, so I just got done with work and I let Chad outside for a little, finally calmed him down. He started freaking out. He has a lot of energy for a puppy, I'll tell you that much. I need to give you guys a quick reading update because this morning I finished Spitting Silver by Naomi Novik. I think I gave it like a 2.25 star. It was not my favorite. I don't think that's shocking for anyone who watched my last vlog or the beginning of this one or anything like that. Like, my feelings basically stayed the same the whole way through. I don't even know if I'll go to book club tomorrow night, just because like that's how much I didn't care and didn't like it. I think that was part of my dislike for it, honestly, was just how much I didn't really care what was going on. Like, I'd much rather read a book where I was actively like annoyed or like had feelings, I guess. And this one I just didn't have a lot of feelings. I was just kind of like, I don't really care, like, why am I reading this? So I think I have all of the books that I haven't finished for my 24 books for 2024 besides 2, which is Love Bug by Daisy Lafarge and then Other People Managed by Ellen something or another. They're both coming to me in the mail because I think I'll like both of them enough that I want to own them. There's only one of these books that I have in my possession right now that is a library book, and it's because I kept seeing bad reviews online and I was like, you know, maybe I will love it, but the amount of bad reviews I'm seeing, I'm like, I don't need to buy it right now. You know, if I love it, I could buy it later. But yeah, I'm gonna go through all of the books that I have left on my list because these are gonna be the only books that I am going to read probably for the rest of the year, unless if I like finish them by some miracle. I don't think I will, but I'm hoping to. I really, really am. But yes, so I'm still in Broken Harbor, okay? I think I'm like a little less than 40% done, so I'm feeling good about that. I wanna say over 60% through The Story of Jane now, so I actually think I might finish this tonight, if not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Feeling good about that. Sorry, we had to change the angle. My dog is actually so mad at me. Anyway, the one library book I have is Youth Juice by E.K. something or another. I heard not great reviews about it. Something about like the beauty industry, horror-ish. I don't know. It sounded really interesting to me last year. I'm hopefully gonna pick this one up soon, especially because it is a library book. I don't want to have it in my possession too long just in case there is a wait list. I finally got Hope by Andrew Ridker. I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be a family saga. I love those. And same with Oxblood by Tom Ben. I think this is more of like a mafia kind of family saga and more like all the men are in jail and all the women are left at home, just having to figure out how to like do life without the person around who was making most of their money. And then I also have The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. I did not realize it was such a chunky book though. It looks like it is. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Oh my gosh, I did not know that. It looks like it is like 600 and almost 50 pages. Like, I had no clue. So we'll see if I actually finish these. But I do think I'm going to start at least one of these tonight and then have 3 books going at once. I feel like it's been fun to read like that because then every time I finish a chapter, I go to the next book and start a chapter and kind of like do that so I don't get like very bored, I guess. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to start tonight, but definitely one of these. And then I'm hoping that my other 2 books are going to come in the mail early enough where I have time to finish them before the end of the year. So we'll see about that one. I think tonight I am just going to sit here, read, play with my dog. He clearly needs some enrichment time. So I don't really know. I am hopefully just gonna relax tonight if he lets me. And Trout, can you stop? Can you stop being nasty to mom? I am gonna go ahead and let the dog outside for a little bit. I might go out there, throw a ball around with him for some time, and update you guys later on tonight. Good boy. Okay, no touching, Trout, no touching. Good boy, Trout boy. Oh, that's good chicken. Have you tried it, bye?
Yeah, but it smells so good.
That is good. Hey you guys, so it is now Wednesday evening. It is 6 p.m. I just got done cleaning up my room a little. I'm feeling really good about it. I just cleaned up a bunch of my clothes off the floor, a bunch of laundry that's been clean for weeks now. I finally put it away where it's supposed to go. I have a candle lit. I'm just feeling really, really good. So I thought I would go ahead and give you guys a quick reading update before I cozy in for the evening, because I'm hoping to get quite a bit of reading done tonight. So I am now reading these 3 books. Let me go in the order. So right now I'm doing a chapter in each, and then I rotate in the same order. And I think it really helps me like get through books that I feel like that would otherwise take maybe a bit longer to read. So the next one I have to read in is The Story of Jane. So I am now on page 210 of this, and let me go ahead and pull up my story graph so I can tell you what percentage through I am. I am 66% through with this. I think this has less than 300 pages, so I'm actually getting really close to finishing this one. I think the only like negative side right now to like finishing it is just the chapters are like pretty short. So I would say for historical nonfiction, that's actually like a lot better, because I feel like sometimes the longer the chapter, the more they just like go on and on and on. But I feel like this really splits up the chapters really well and in a good way that keeps you going back for more. But like I just said, the way I'm reading right now is a chapter for chapter for chapter, and so I just feel like it's taking me longer in that sense, but I am still really liking my time with this one. And then after I finish a chapter in that, I get to read a chapter in my Tana French Broken Harbor. I am freaking loving this book. Tana French just always does it so well. I'm now 55% through with this one. I think the plus side to finishing this one soon is just that the chapters are like so long that I feel like obviously when I sit down and like I just said, I'm doing chapter for chapter for chapter, so I am getting a lot bigger of a percentage read in this by reading longer chapters, even though it is like a longer book still. I've just noticed I'm like flying through this one a little bit more, but this one is so freaking good, and it just like really keeps me coming back for more. So they've now arrested somebody but there's still some like weird gaps in like his story and like what's going on. And so now I'm like still very confused about the holes in the wall and the baby monitors and like how it's just all gonna add up. And I love getting to read about, is his name Richie, I think? Yes, Richie, and then our main character Mick Scorcher Kennedy. I love getting to read about their relationship as detectives and how they're like growing closer to each other by like learning how to like trust and lean on each other. I think that's like super interesting. I think the one part about this book that I do kind of feel like could have been left out, at least at this point in time, but like I just said, I'm only like a little over halfway through, but it's only been mentioned like a few times, but like not enough for me to be super invested in the story, is the whole backstory of like his sister and all of her stuff that she has going on. I feel like I'm not really seeing fully how it's like connecting to what is going on in the actual like meat of the story, if that makes sense, because I feel like the other Dublin Murder Squad series, she does a really good job weaving in a backstory that's still somehow like sort of kind of involved in the meat of the story. And I feel like this one, at least at this point in time, it's not really coming together as well, but I'm hoping Miss Tana is gonna deliver and she'll make it happen. But right now, if I had to rate this, 5 stars. Like, I love Tana French. Like, truly, I could see her being one of my like favorite authors of like all time. And then I don't know if I've talked about this one yet, but it's called Youth Juice. I am only 14% done with this one, but the chapters are reading very fast. It's a pretty short book. It's good, it's fine. I just feel like if you are a girl in your like late 20s right now, I feel like a lot of this is going to feel, like I just said, like very relatable. And like, you're either a girl like this or you know girls that are like this. And I'm gonna say, if you were a girly who read Into the Gloss in like high school and college, and then you got onto the whole Glossier train because of Emily Wise, the girl who runs and owns Into the Gloss, opened up and ran Glossier, I feel like this whole thing is going to be right up your alley. Like, it's giving the New York 2015, 2016 glossy makeup, no powder, natural, but like still wearing makeup as like skincare trend. I feel like that's wellness girly, like that's what this is giving. But I'm pretty sure it's going to turn into like a horror of some kind, so I'm really interested to see how that goes. But right now, only being 14% through, we're really just reading about this girl who's working as an intern at this company, and she is the intern to the main girl named Tree, who's reminding me of like Emily Wise, where we get to learn her backstory of like, oh my god, she started by just taking Polaroids in her room of like the products she loves and people she thought were cool and blah blah blah, and how now she runs this beauty line basically. And I'm like, okay, not creative, but I'm hoping that our author's spin on it is gonna be, you know, really keeping me going. I am enjoying it, but I also don't feel like I'm not as into the story as maybe I want to be, but I'm only 40% through, so we'll see how that goes. So like I just said, I'm gonna sit here, read some, hang out until Ethan gets home, make dinner, and then hopefully just keep it cozy. You know, I clean my room for a reason. I would like to enjoy it and sit. I'm not feeling the best. Ethan has a cold. My sister-in-law has a cold, and we were gonna hang out tonight, but yeah, she basically phoned in sick, and I was like, girl, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm not feeling best either. Like, very, very, like, drained and tired. And I feel like you can't hear it in my voice, but, like, my sinuses are all, like, freaked. But I can never tell if it's, like, the weather or, like, I'm actually getting sick. Like, I never know. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get to reading, and I'll update you guys all later tonight. So it is now Thursday, December 5th in the evening. I am popping on to do my little intro for the day slash just like a little reading check-in because I got to read some more last night before bed, this morning before work, and then today after work for a moment. So I actually have all my percentages pulled up in my phone. So Youth Juice, 23%. Broken Harbor, 66%, which I'm so proud of myself for. And then The Story of Jane, 73%. So my plan is to basically not end this vlog until I finish at least one book. I would love to finish The Story of Jane and Broken Harbor, but if they don't seem like they're gonna happen at like the same time, I would love to finish at least one before the video's over. Ethan is golfing tonight. He does this like golf league on Thursdays at a golf simulator thing with his friends. I don't really know, but he basically is gonna go straight from work today to golfing. And so me and Chad will be here pretty much most of the evening by ourselves. We'll eat dinner tonight like later. I might make it and eat, and then he'll just get to eat some more when he gets home. But either way, my plan tonight is to watch some YouTube, finish at least one book, hopefully, fingers freaking crossed, and maybe watch some Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I just got caught up with new season of Beverly Hills, and I just like don't like Dorit. Okay, so the whole Dorit Kyle argument, I just don't think Kyle can do anything that's gonna make me hate her. Like, I have been watching her on television since I was in like middle school, like maybe before middle school. Like I don't know, Beverly Hills was my first city of housewives I'm pretty sure I ever watched. It was that or Orange County, but I want to say it was Beverly Hills. And Kyle has always been one of my favorites. I love her family, Kathy, and her other sister. I just love her. Like, I don't know, like no one can make me hate Kyle. Like, and Dorit is just like so dumb and stupid and like so rude and so annoying and like so aggressive. And like, I do feel bad if, you know, Kyle hasn't always been the best friend. I just like, I'm a Kyle girl. Like, I don't know how else to explain. Like, Dorit is so annoying to me, and there's just something about her that just doesn't feel very self-reflective. Like, I don't think she like understands how she comes across sometimes, and I feel like, I don't know, like Kyle was like, this has been the hardest 2 years of my life, like give me some grace. And Dorit is like, grace has been given and time's up basically. And I was like, girl, like that's so fucking rude. Like, her whole home life just like fell apart basically. Like, she's getting divorced, all her kids are practically moved out of the family home. Like, leave her alone, dude. Like, leave her alone. Like, you're mad she ignored you because you hurt her feelings. Leave her alone. So yeah, I'm all caught up with Beverly Hills. And then Salt Lake, honestly, I am episodes behind. I don't know, I just like couldn't, it's hard for me to get into for whatever reason this season. I think I just got to the one where they're all in like Minnesota, ? And then they come home and then I don't even know what's going on. Like, that's the thing. I don't even know who's fighting or what's going on. Like, I don't even care that much, which sucks because last season, honestly, every season of Salt Lake has been so good to me. Like, if you're wanting to hop into a city, that one would be fun because you don't have to like watch a ton of seasons to be caught up. But like, I want to say this maybe like the 4th, 5th season, so it's not like we're not too far into it. But yeah, I don't know, there's something about this season that it's just not, it's not really like getting along with me as well. And I do like the new housewives, so I don't really know what's going on. But anyway, yeah, I might watch a little of that tonight. And then while I'm watching some stuff, I need to clean my nightstand out. My nightstand basically becomes junk drawers for me. It just gets so full of all sorts of stuff, like vitamins, chargers, loose pens and pencils, like bookmarks, just all sorts of stuff. And it's 2 drawers full of junk. Not all of it, but a lot of it is just like junk that could probably be thrown away or put back where it belongs. And I feel like I go through it maybe once a year, and my goal is to do it at least once a month. So I'm actually going to tell you about an app I've been loving. Like, for all I know, you guys already know what it is, but it's called Finch. And you get this little, like, oh, you can't see. Oh yeah, that helps. Okay. So Finch is this app where you get this little bird and then you complete goals that you set for yourself, and then you like get gems and get to like buy little things for their house and like little outfits that they get to wear and stuff. And then you get to like be friends with people on there, and it's like literally so much fun. Like, it is so, I don't want to say addicting to me, but like I love to like gamify chores, to-do lists. Like, I love like a little goal and a little, and then like a reward of some kind. Like, it just really like does it for me. Like, I am not somebody who's very good about chores that are just kind of like up to me to do with like no reward in the end. Like, I need some, like, a reason why I'm doing this, I guess, and it can't just be because it's like good for your mental health. Like, I need a better reason, like winning fake gems for my fake little bird named Cleo so I can buy her cute little outfits. So I don't really know. But if you have heard of the app and you use it, I would love to like know how you're liking it, different goals you set for yourself in there. Yeah, no, I'm so interested, and if I know you well enough, like maybe we could like be friends on there. Like, it is literally so much fun. But anyway, so I have the whole cleaning out my nightstand set as a goal as a monthly goal, and it falls tonight, so I need to do it. I don't think it'll take too long because it doesn't even need to be like super tidy, just any more tidy than it is right now is kind of my headspace with it. But anyway, so yeah, watch some stuff, hopefully finish a book, clean a nightstand, make pasta for dinner, and sit my ass down. So yeah, I'm really excited to be cozy tonight and stay in. It has been so cold outside, and hopefully I have a good reading update for you guys all later tonight. Fingers crossed. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the final finished product. I think it looks pretty good. I'll have to do a taste test for everyone because I'm a little nervous. But there were no walnuts in this recipe. I wanted to say this for a different recipe I still haven't made yet, but I bought all the stuff for. But I think the tomatoes and the chicken and the pasta, like, I like that there's not like a ton of sauce, and you can actually see all the things in the pasta. So yeah, I'm gonna make a bowl and do a little taste test really quick. Okay, so I'm just a touch nervous, I can't lie to you. Oh, no, this is so good. This is so good. Oh, the tomatoes. Yeah, no, this is so good. This is like the perfect amount of sauce, but with like a little bit more texture to the meal. I'm really into this. Really into it. A+. I'm gonna watch my YouTube and I'll check in later tonight. So it is now Saturday afternoon, and I am here to close out the vlog because I finally finished Broken Harbor by Tana French, 5 stars, and then The Story of Jane, 5 freaking stars. I feel like they both took me a little bit longer to read than I expected today. Like, I really kind of thought I was gonna wake up and just like crush these books, but I don't know if you can tell my voice. I have a bit of like a cold of some kind. I'm not feeling that, so I've just been relaxing all day, which means, you know, reading, which was kind of like my plan. But I don't know, like Broken Harbor, I'm pretty sure I woke up and only had like a chapter and a half left, something like that, and it just took me a really long time because I feel like the chapters are so long. And then The Story of Jane, I just feel like I had more chapters than I realized left. I don't know. Anyway, they're both done, 5 stars. Love them both so much. I highly recommend, but I do honestly think both books require some sort of just, you should know what you're getting yourself into. I feel like specifically Broken Harbor, obviously, you know, death, family death, murder, like that whole deal, but also like depression and stuff like that. So I just be aware. And then obviously The Story of Jane, I don't know. It wasn't like a sad book. If anything, I would say it's more like empowering, like getting to hear these women's stories about how they decided that something was so important and needed to change that they like did something about it. I think that's a really empowering thing, to like take action and take control back over like what you feel is right. So honestly, really good. But like I just said, I would definitely look into just any sort of, not necessarily trigger warnings, but just like content warnings, just like what you're about to get yourself into. So that leaves me with 18 books read out of my 24 that I would like to finish by the end of the year. For my actual reading goal, I think I only need to finish like 5 more books, and my story graph says I'm on track with how fast I read and everything, so I'm like, okay, great. I feel like I can do it, but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, 19, 20, 20, wait, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And so I feel like I only have like 6 books left, and so honestly I might be able to. I just need to really like crush one, like maybe one will like go kind of quick, so we'll see about that. But anyway, I'm ending the vlog here, and I'll talk to you guys all later on.